Yeah, man, I think it's dope. I think at the end of the day, I just keep setting records for myself that I didn't even know were things. I was the first ever to get a bonus on Contender Series, first ever to wear the debut patch. I think it just kind of sets tone of what I'm doing and what I'm here to do, and that's to set records, break records, and to be different, to be unique. And I think I'm on the right track. You know, as far as what I'm doing, I see, we're looking, and I didn't even know I was gonna fight, and they're talking about they're announcing this debut patch thing. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Boom, I end up getting the call, and then I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So am I gonna be the first to wear the debut patch now? And so I'm looking at the list. I'm looking at who's fighting and stuff. And the guy that was supposed to be the first was Gustafson, I think, or the guy that was fighting after me. And so they ended up putting me in front of him, and I was like, oh, it looks like I'm about to be the first one to ever wear it. So I thought it was a pretty cool feat. And now that I started, doing like a little card opening and card breaking and opening packs and stuff. I think it's gonna be fun to be able to like, when that stuff comes out, do tops and do the cards. I can go hunt for my own patch and stuff. So I think that's gonna be a dope little experience. I think it's gonna be a fun little adventure.
Tell me a little bit about working with agency breaks and doing the card break or being able to connect with fans that way.
Bro, it's amazing. I didn't even understand or know that was really like a space, like that space, And I think the first time I learned was through baseball cards. My coach, my jiu-jitsu coach Joseph, is super huge onto collecting baseball cards, basketball cards. I mean, this dude's got some of the rarest cards that are going for over 100,000 for a card. Like, isn't that crazy? Someone is paying X amount of money for a card, so I didn't really understand that space too much. I was just kind of new, and the UFC cards are pretty brand new. They're just started getting popular, especially with the sport. The sport's not that popular in the States. If you go to Japan or you go to Brazil, it's the number one sport, and everyone's crazy about it. Like Brazil sold out in 15 minutes. San Antonio next week, you can still buy tickets for $100. So you could just kind of see the difference in levels of like where um, where these sports fans are in the states. So being able to use the breaks to be able to communicate with my fans, communicate with people that maybe don't even know who I am. They just like opening UFC cards and being able to talk to them. They ask me questions, being able to interact. And it's a blessing, man. It's super dope. The setup, the live streaming stuff, that's kind of where I guess our world's heading, is this whole live streaming, IRL, kind of meta place that we're at. So, I kind of got to get in where I fit in and find my niche. And I think I did. I found a good little opportunity, a little spot for myself to be able to just connect with fans and just get more in tune in the space.
Um, Speaking about kind of being, that kind of thing is, I for a long time have been asking fighters kind of what sets them apart, how they can connect with fans, and you see a lot of fighters not do it. Through doing agency breaks and stuff like that, do you feel like that's given you a good way to connect with fans and kind of build your fan base outside of the traditional methods?
100%. It's so different. It's so unique. It's so new, and that's all I try to do. Like I'm never gonna be one of those guys that are going to be like, no, I'm not going to take a picture with you, or no, I'm not going to do an interview with you. Like, I'm never too big for another person. Like, we're all human beings at the end of the day. If I'm busy or something, I have to, reschedule or something. But, if, even if someone asks me a question in my DMs, I try to do my best to respond and give them the best advice that I can. And having this agency break, having this live streaming, concept, I think it's a great opportunity for me to connect with fans, talk to fans, have them pick my brain and kind of get an idea of where they're at, what they like to watch, what they like to see, because at the end of the day, this is like, it's an entertainment business, and it's an entertainment business for the people who watch. So without the fans, we're really nothing. If no one's watching, UFC ain't going to be putting on shows. So I think it's been great. I've been enjoying it myself. I like the camera, so I don't mind being in front of it and talking and interacting. And I think it's a great platform that I have, and just trying to build, like you said, my own presence, trying to, make, brand myself and put myself out there for other people to see who I am and what I'm all about.